I'm out here in Fort Duchesne, Utah today, and I'm meeting with the Ute Bison folks. These guys are great. We just spent about a last half hour talking about the bison and the efforts that they are making to bring bison to the community so that we can eat well and have great meat in front of our plates.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I've got Lincoln Bush. He's actually out here with a Ute bison and taking care of the animals.
Yep. It's my job.
Let's talk about the bison itself. Like how is it working with them?
Oh, that's great. It's great, dude. They're great creatures. They're got a lot of personality in their little faces. At first, when you first started working with them, I was like real um like away from it all because they're real sacred animals to us. So I'd always like walk like very far away, but I was like, oh, I'm not doing my job very well if I'm just scared of them half the time. So I started getting
It's gotta be
closer
a healthy
and
respect,
closer.
though,
Oh yeah,
right?
yeah, definitely. But there was to a point where like getting in the pins I'd like just stick an arm or a leg in real fast, and I was like, I can't really clean their troughs and move their poop out the way from their feeding areas a lot. So eventually I started like getting closer and closer, and then it was like they kind of started doing this weird thing where they would almost like recognize me more, and then like they started paying more attention to their facial features and their little grunts that they do and their footsteps and the movements of their head. And eventually I was like, oh, they do speak to you in a interesting way. So like after a while I started learning their cues on um when if I'm getting too close to them or if I'm doing something that they don't like. So I started like, all right, this is making a little bit more sense because they're kind of similar to cattle, but they're not, like cattle. Because if you're not careful, they will take your pants off of you, and you don't want that happening. They'll start really coming at you.
Man, I haven't been pants since grade school.
Yeah, I don't want that happening.
No.
Yeah, it's just not cool up there. There's quite a bit of dryness up there. A lot of dirt. You don't want that getting anywhere else. But yeah, they're real interesting creatures. Their facial features are pretty interesting. They do show range of emotions like excitement. They do start doing this fancy little crow hop dance, or they do they'll show they're upset. When they're upset, you can definitely see it on their eyes will start like getting bigger, and like they'll start snorting more. They do this intimidation tactic where they kick the ground up a lot and create a dust around their bodies. Or it's pretty interesting. I got a picture of one of them where it looked like there was a bigger bison that was standing there than what literally was in front of me. But yeah, back to what I do is I just get them up to weight, take care of them, clean their pins a lot, make sure their water that they're drinking from is clean, and their hay. I have to make sure there's not a lot of mold in their grass because we can't have them eating that because they get colic and that's bad for their respiratory system.
Oh yeah.
So I have to monitor the grass pretty closely. I do a range of things from irrigating work, ditch work. Every now and then I do hauling for their hay, and then we do pull them in to make sure they're healthy. Like have vets come in, a little blood work, physical exams, and then make sure that they're gaining weight properly and they're not bloating from excess eating because they do have wild grass in their pins on the outside there.
Well, tell us about how big the ranch is.
Oh, the ranch is roughly about 430 acres, I think, give or take.
That's a big range for them.
Oh yeah, they got quite a bit of area to run around and play in. They do migrate from a top spring area where we have a well of water that fills up throughout the year. They do enjoy that. There's a lot of green growth up there. It's probably pretty tasty grass up there, honestly. And then they do migrate down a little bit. I'll say like 100 acres or so down where they could enjoy more shade, a little bit more drier area where they do roll around in the dirt. It's kind of like a dirt bath, if you want to say something. It kind of helps them scratch areas or cleaning themselves off, which is pretty interesting to see. They do use that as an intimidation tactic, though, occasionally when I am getting too close to them. And they do like to hang out around thick brush, so it scratches them, keeps them cool. They're pretty big creatures, so
definitely.
Yeah, they do like to play in the shade a lot.
Not a lot of people get to know the bison in its natural state.
Oh no.
That's quite an amazing thing that you get to do.
Yeah, it's something special, honestly. I like what I do, and it's fun. There are times where I'm working and I'm like, this don't even feel like a job. It's just so enjoyable for me.
Right.
I like being outside. I like checking on them. I do routine field checks every other day, where I take my dog. She's a little blue heeler.
Oh,
get on the 4-wheeler, do a route that we have established over the past couple of years. We go out and we check the water sources, make sure there's no wild dogs crawling under the fence. Make sure they're chilling, they're having a good time. It keeps Popeye and me busy, and make sure it keeps me really connected with the ranch. So I pretty much know that place better than I know my own apartment.
Yeah. I'm really fascinated. You mentioned that you communicate with them.
Oh yeah, there's we do have I have a series of calls that I do use to bring them in. It's pretty interesting. At first I thought it was, I was just being crazy, but I started doing it more and use it for feeding, and they do come running in. They do recognize my tone. I learned that from a guy over that worked at another bison farm a while ago. They have you would think the louder and higher your call is, they would hear it, but whereas they're big creatures, they create this deeper carrying tone, like a bellow. So you have to kind of get a deeper sound to them, and they start recognizing the sounds that you make, kind of like how when your mom's yelling at you, you recognize when she's upset at you. So it's kind of like that is what I imagine. They were like, okay, it's dinner time, or they hear a certain different pitch. They're like, oh, he's just doing whatever again. He's just being weird out here. Yeah, I did figure out how to call him in, because we did try different attempts, and that seems to be the one that works the best.
Wow. I'll liken it to when I started blacksmithing. I felt like I was doing something that my ancestry had done, and I felt a connection to that work that I was doing. How does that fit in for you?
It does feel pretty. It feels pretty interesting. It gets me wondering. I'm like, I wonder if back in the day they did during their migration periods, I wonder if they did something similar to that to really keep their herds moving, or keep them away from certain areas that they didn't want them going when their villages or their tribe, because the tribe did migrate a lot with the bison, and their path as they went, they followed to keep their food sources going. I do wonder every now and then if there was something similar that they would do that I'm doing now, because there's times where I'm like, man, this feels kind of natural almost.
It was exactly where I was going when I would be able to shape metal the way I didn't know how, but I was just able to do it and have that knowledge. I felt my ancestors kind of guiding me, because I know that I have blacksmith.
Yeah, it does it feels very natural to be outside and working with these animals. It's just kind of, sometimes I'm just working and I'm like, man, what am I? Oh crap, I'm just vibing out here. I'm having a good time right now. And, the animals seem to just really enjoy my presence. At least I hope they do. They're not just like,
with a healthy respect.
Yeah, they're like, oh, I'm gonna get this guy when he's not looking. No, I do like those animals a lot. They're fun. They are very fun, very expressive.
What a great opportunity you had to do that. Then we bring it in, and we're doing all this for a big purpose, and that is.
Oh yeah, yeah, definitely. I want to. Well, for me personally, I think my whole thing is just to kind of be a part of this wheel, this a spoke. You know, I'm a spoke that helps bring the meat to the people. You know, this is very healthy and it's a lot better than processed foods that you get out. You know, fast food areas. It's really healthy for you and it's good and uh, it does hold a lot of ceremonial. So like if we do use it for like certain events, you know, it does help bring the community closer together. And I really hope that does keep continuing on the way it's been doing. It's been getting a little bit better as we bring the meat more to the people.
Yeah.
And it
And
keeps the
when you say people, you mean everybody.
yeah,
This
yeah, yeah.
entire community here.
Oh yeah, definitely, definitely. I don't really pay attention to when like different skin colors. Half the time I forget I'm brown. I'm like, whoa, look at that.
You're just tan.
Yeah, I'm like, I forget about that. I even forget I have tattoos sometimes. I'm like, who did this to me?
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I just think of everybody as just one. Because we're all part of the same will. I'm a spoke. Everybody's a spoke, and we all have our thing. When one starts to get out of hand, then the wheel starts to run crazier. I think it's just really important to keep everybody together.
Yeah.
The peoples.
So providing meat and substance to the entire community here.
Mm-hmm.
We talk a lot about the Uinta Basin and the strange basin here, but it really is the coolest part of this project that I've started is bringing all of us together as a community and ask the questions that we don't get asked out in most of the world. Are there aliens? Are there things like that happening? What's that in the sky? But the thing I love about it the most is it's bringing all of us together in a really cool way that we can work together and feed each other.
Oh yeah, definitely. You ring the dinner bell. Everybody comes to the table.
Yeah.
And I think that's probably the best thing. Like I said, it's really good, and
it's hard to be
feel
mad
good when you're eating it. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you eating this good meat. You're just like, oh, man, feeling really good. Really good.
So that's where everything starts to bring all this out is with you, Lincoln, and taking care of the animals and giving them a huge space to run on. And
oh yeah, we maintain it well. We try our best. What do you? Can you come down and give us a hand? I'm like sitting there covering my. Yeah, hold on, give me a minute. I love this part of the year. Oh, I love every part of the year when I'm working up there.
I always say my favorite season is the first 2 weeks of every one of them.
Oh yeah, it's the best. Oh yeah, just feeling that season change. It's something special, especially up there. Like during the thaw, first part of the year, it feels so magical. Just going up and there's like fog that settles every now and then, and you just opening it up. It just feels so good.
So you're up in La Pointe, right? I gotta ask you, have you ever seen anything strange out there on the ranch?
Oh, there are times where I spend too much time around the bison, and I'm just having a good time. And one time I talk out loud a lot. I'm talking to my dog Popeye or the bison. And one time I swear I heard this bison start saying "hey" to me, and I'm like, "Are you talking to me? Like, is this happening?" And he was shaking his head. So I was like, I think it's about time I call it a day.
Yeah.
Yeah, there are times where there's it feels like their presence is a little bit stronger sometimes, especially if you're in a bad mood and you're up there and then they gather around you and it seems like they're kind of just putting their little energies out towards you and you kind of feel that and you're like, all right, shouldn't be like that right now. Got something to do here. I got to take care of you guys. And then I guess during transports they do get upset. Yeah, the transports, they do have this energy about them that we have to respect. They get upset because we're trying to get them to move along and they don't want to, so we gotta keep an eye on that they have their own medicine. You feel that and you can feel their anger, so we have to be careful when we're doing that. We'll keep a wide distance in that time because you never know what they can do. They're very strong creatures, and they're very athletic for their size.
Yeah,
they reach up to
move
30 miles an hour. I've seen it. I was on the 4-wheeler one time, and one was chasing me, and I was pushing that sucker, and I was like, "What are you doing, sir?" It was crazy. But
I had a really cool experience. a really good friend of mine who grew up in the Hill Creek Extension.
Oh yeah,
He
yeah.
wor-
That's a ways.
It's a ways, and he took me out there to show me where he'd grown up, and he showed me a herd of bison that he says is not part of the counts with DWR and all
Oh,
that. And it's just kind of been and he called it a very ancestral herd that has been there for time.
oh yeah, oh yeah. That herd down there. That's a big one.
And the thing I was struck with by the bison the most is the intelligence that they carry.
Oh yeah, they're very smart. They recognize they could recognize your facial patterns and like I said, their ability to tell when I'm out there just poking around and when I'm actually out there with intent. They do notice that and they do avoid me in those times when I'm like ready to pull them in, or if I'm out to feed, they'll gather around more. They do have their own hierarchy, their social structure. You know, their lead bull, their lead cow, and if you have them split apart for too long, one will take over. There's cows, you know, the cow herd, and then there's the lead bull. They have their whole hierarchy there, which is pretty interesting to witness. They're really smart, really smart. They know how to avoid me when they really want to hide from me. Gets me wondering. I'm like, did they escape somehow? Go around the whole ranch looking for them, and they're in the last place I look, and I'm like, I should have guessed, but and they're really sneaky when they want to be.
Yeah. Well, I think you're very fortunate.
Oh, I
Not
yeah.
very. There's got to be just a small handful of people that know the bison the way you do.
Oh yeah, they're interesting. I love them. It's like I said, it doesn't feel like a job at times for me.
Ah,
You know, I just enjoy it so much, and just the opportunity that the knowledge that I've gained from just working there. At first, I went up with the thoughts of it's just tossing hay and pouring water. I've learned so much from just being up there. It's really helped just help me be a little bit better person every day. I feel like.
well, I think you're doing great.
Thank you, appreciate that.
This is this is a large herd. How many do you have?
Currently we have 11 bulls. They're getting close to 3 year olds. They're pretty big boys. Their winter coats are looking good. I'm really proud of how they look now. Um, let's see, about 35 cows, I believe, 34, and then 15 babies. So I think that rounds up to about maybe 65, maybe about in that area.
65 on a 430 acre run. That's it's
Oh yeah, they got plenty of space. We do have the bulls in their own side of that 400. That's like 200 there, and then the cows and the babies are on the other side. There's another 200 there. It is separated by a big fence that runs down the middle, so that way they're not wantonly breeding throughout the year. That way we
right.
can keep a better eye on who's who's calving who and who's breeding which cow and all that. Yeah, so they have bulls. There's 11 bulls on like a 200-acre plot. They run. They separate into their own groups. One picks on the other. The other guy runs off to the back, and it's nice to know that if they need room to, if they get aggressive, they have plenty of space to run off to.
Yeah.
Same with the cows. They do split into two different herds. It's kind of interesting to see. There's the older cows, and then the younger ones that have their calves. They'll go off onto their own corner. They seem to rotate as they go. But during feeding time, they merge back together, and that's pretty cool. I like doing that a lot.
I had a really cool experience. I was working the derricks on a drilling rig, and I was up, and there was a entire herd of elk, and I was 90 feet in the air, 100 foot in the air,
Yeah.
and watching the rut. And that was like one of the coolest things. And I watched it for like 12 hours, and the whole just the hierarchy and the little bulls coming in.
Yeah.
And it was just like live David Attenborough on TV.
Yeah,
Like,
their whole system that they have. It's cool, huh?
it
It's
is.
interesting to
It
see
is.
play out in real life because humans, we have our own thing, and then when seeing animals do it, they're like, oh, that's neat because they don't have to talk the way we do. It's all just their cues that they know.
Man, how fun and exciting.
Oh, I love it.
This really seems like an ancient source of food for us. The way that you are taking care of these animals and keeping on such a large range. making sure their health is good, and like, saying little things like their coats are wonderful, and I'm proud of that. Like the amount of pride, is that a good word?
Oh yeah, definitely.
The amount of pride that you have going into this and this project, it really comes through with the final product of.
Oh yeah, it feels really good when I see somebody buy a jerky stick or somebody says, "Yeah, that bison burger is good." It feels really good because I'm like, I'm doing my job right. I'm doing something good here. It just feels good. Like we'll do feasts every now and then for the tribe, and if standing there walking around, make sure everybody's got their plate or whatnot, and then hearing somebody say, "That's good meat." Yes, yes, I'm like,
That.
yes, I'm like, yes.
Well, you fed me and my family as well.
Really? Oh yeah, yeah.
I do come in here to the plaza and buy
Oh man,
bison a
This
lot.
is it good? You like it?
And I brought my
Good.
mom
Heck
here
yeah,
because
dude.
it was one of the few things she could eat
That's
there
good. I'm
towards the end
glad.
of her
That
life.
feels good. That feels really good. I
I
like
want to
that.
thank you for all your
No,
hard work.
I'm just doing my job, man. I
And
love
it's
it.
not even the job; it's what you're putting into it emotionally.
Oh yeah, it's place is a great place. I love working on there.
Well, I appreciate you spending a little time with all
Oh
of us
yeah, no problem.
and feeding this community in the way that you are.
Oh,
Because
it's fun. It's fun. Like I feel like I'm just getting paid and just having fun with it half the time. Like, yeah, it feels good when somebody's like, "Oh, that's great," but I'm like, it's so much fun up there. I wish more people would want to come in and come check it out. There's so much we could show them, and a lot of people could learn about the bison, and they're just incredible creatures.
yeah,
They're awesome.
they're hard not to respect.
Oh yeah, yeah. They do have a presence when they
Demand it
come
even.
walking up. Yeah, there's one time and they're quiet. They're real quiet when they want to be. I was standing there watching some bulls play in the distance, and then I heard something. I turned and there was a bull standing right there looking at me, and I was like, "Oh my god!" They scared the crap out of me. I was like, "Here we go." I got ready to run, but he just was, just checking me out, So I was like, "Okay, good, good. I'm glad you guys like me, and you're not out to get me, because that would be terrifying. I don't think I could outrun one of those bad boys."
No, I don't. I don't run anyways.
Right? Yeah, I got like maybe 5 seconds to run in me.
I always say though, if you see me running, you better run faster.
Right? Definitely.
Well, Lincoln, that was an amazing experience, and I really would love to come out to the ranch.
Oh, you have to.
And
You have to. It's fun. You'll like it.
it would be an amazing experience for me. I have such a huge respect for the animal itself and the history of it and the what it means to cultures and me personally with my experience down on Hill Creek. So, well, cool. We got your boss here, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's Antonio Kanip.
Antonio Kanip. AJ, they call him, right?
Yes, sir. That's the man, the myth,
Out
the
in the
legend.
streets, that's what they call him.
Yeah, that's the street name, AJ.
Well, cool. We'll bring him in next. All right. AJ Kanip, you are here. I just spent a good while talking with your hand there, Lincoln, and he did a great job. And it sounds like he does a great job on the ranch out there for you. Mm-hmm. And then you come in and you start bringing the meat to the market.
Yes, I'm the chief operating officer for the Ute Enterprises. So I play different parts here within the company. We're an umbrella company overseeing 8 retail locations, and the Bison Ranch is one of them. And so, with all that, is working along with my people there at the ranch, farm to table. Basically, so what you want to how do you want to identify that process, farm to table?
Very, very quickly too.
Yeah.
Not a lot of actions going on in between.
And as Lincoln expressed and shared, we just need to be cautious during that time, very, very cautious, because of the fact that stress plays a part in it with the animal.
Oh, when you're bringing them in,
yeah,
yes.
So they call that in the meat industry, they call that blood meat. And that's basically high stress levels that blood will get stuck in the meat after it's harvested, then look dark purple. So in order to prevent that, we move very cautious in order to not create and promote high stress levels, so we can have a nice, healthy harvest. And doing that, we have to work with a USDA harvest plant in order to get that approval, an approved stamp stating that this is a product that has been inspected, and our product is then applied the triangle exotic stamp that indicates that it is it's not anything like cattle, beef, chicken, poultry, but exotic. It's classified in its own with the USDA. The regulations that come with that inspector will have to inspect that location.
Yeah.
And that location or co-packer basically kind of, he keeps up with his records, and that's a whole mess of its own. So kudos to my friend.
Right. Anybody that can deal with government regulation, they've got my hat tipped.
Kudos to my friend. His name Bjorn Carlson. He's the owner. Him and his partner there in Duchesne, Farm Creek Meats.
Farm Creek Meats.
They're really good friends of ours, and they're really good. We got a good relationship going with them. So we have the animal, according to the regulation, needs to be alive during the time of harvest for the inspection to occur. Then Bjorn and his team conducts the process of putting down the animal humanely. From there, they age it, after everything's all done, hanging process for so many weeks. And at that point, then he'll cut and wrap it and apply our approved USDA label to it.
Excellent.
And then at that point, then we'll transport back for retail, or whoever should want to make an order. We have a website, which is very important. Why we like to why we're actually reaching out to you and to say other people here in the basin. Come on over, visit us.
Yeah,
we have doors are open. Plaza, the Ute Petroleum. We have jerky products. Basically 0 to none preservatives, organic preservatives.
Does it have the actual organic stamp on it?
Does.
It does.
It does have that triangle stamp that indicates there's no other additives. Sometimes you can see on jerky, where on your travels, you might see jerky that has that will indicate venison or bison. Now on that, you'll see a circle stamp.
Uh-huh.
That circle stamp is an indicator that there's some type of additive to it. In our case, we don't add any other things like, say, beef fat or pork fat. And some other producers will add that additive, and then they'll get the circle stamp. In our product, there's no additives as such, straight bison. So we have the triangle stamp. That's an indicator that's just straight bison.
So you've got a very high standard that you're holding to this product.
So that's our niche on our product. It's just straight bison, and you rarely see that. And since I've been working with this project for so long, I find myself looking at other competition every now and then on my travels and point that out. Hey, this is a circle stamp. It's not all.
And why pay that extra money for bison if it's mixed with other fats from other animals? Like, I want the bison.
Yep.
So my favorite beef jerky is the ones that you have to eat really fast because it'll go bad.
That's right. That's exactly what we kind of mirror. And that's a point that we want to point out to our customers too. And we some of them understand it, the concept of less preservatives. That means when you open it, there's a, just like anything else. If you're going to open something, you don't want to just leave it. Just like anything else, and enjoy it at its freshness. But
it gives you that excuse to go ahead and just eat it all because it is that good.
Then if you open it and just leave it there, it is being that it's not packed with preservatives. There's a chance that it will, it will turn.
Yeah.
But in our case, it does have a good shelf life to it. And but at the same time, we pride ourselves that it's not packed with your high preservatives. You can see it with all other type of jerky products. We use some type of we use things like, say, organic celery salt.
Okay.
So as those kind of ingredients that can do preserve it, but it's not anything like a chemical preservative.
Right. It's something that we've been using for hundreds of years.
Yeah, and then what I come to realize is that type of approach just supports the taste. It doesn't overwhelm the taste, which is a good part
too. Even
yeah. So when you take a bite out, it's bison. We don't have anything that will kind of overtake that. And I like the recipe. Like I say, Bjorn is our co-packer, works hand in hand with us in order for us to provide and to obtain this type of product. Now, where we're at, we're kind of finding we're competition. We got to be aware of them. We got to figure out how we can market this product. We don't want to undercut ourselves by selling it and marketing it at minimal. We need the return on it in order to keep the company going. But this is why we want to reach out to someone like you to make that point to your viewers.
Yeah. And this community here, really, I'm all about supporting the community and our local businesses. Mm-hmm. But I've got to say, our local meats taste so much better than the stuff they truck in and bring to our butchers at the grocery store.
Mm-hmm.
The flavor it's got a touch of game to it. It's got a sage flavor sometimes, and that's the other cool thing is the meats taste different if they are locally sourced and locally raised, and as you said, which I really want to reiterate, is ethically harvested.
Mm-hmm.
And that makes a huge difference. I've experienced that difference in hunting and how the animal acts and how clean of a shot I made.
Mm-hmm.
It really affects the flavor. So that's an amazing point that you made there, that they are ethically and kept calm and for the final product
mm-hmm.
that we bring out. You did mention that we can find them online.
Yes.
And order beef jerky online.
That's right. UteBison.com.
Very good. I'll put a link on there for that, and you can come here and get it.
Yeah, here in Ute Plaza, right here on Highway 40. You can either find it at the supermarket here or either one of the Ute Petroleums.
And it's right here in Fort Duchesne. And let me just kind of point this out to everybody. As you're going to the gate of the Skinwalker Ranch, you drive right by Ute Plaza. Yeah. And you can pick up some beef jerky there and some good drinks and meet some good people. Every time I go into the plaza, mm-hmm. I end up staying there for 10, 15 minutes. And they're just good people, and everybody, the customers, everybody's just chatty. It's just a community hub, I think. And I really enjoy going in there.
Yep.
Not to mention the gas is usually about 20 cents cheaper per gallon, which ends up being about $20. So.
Yeah, exactly. Stop over to get some bill, or if you want to go over to our soda shop, coffee house, it's all here in this little corner of the plaza.
I've been told a few times that people don't feel like they can stop in here. Will you just look in the camera and say you're all welcome?
That's our that's a big point we always want to make it. Throughout the year, we invite everybody. The doors are always open. We have all sorts of things that we can offer that you might find here. For example, our jerky and our bison meat, and it's open to the public. Come over, come see for yourself, and stop in.
Yeah, I do. I know I do. Mm-hmm. And the store is beautiful. The market is a beautiful store.
Yeah, we had it undergone. We revamped it twice, and we're just trying to keep that up to date look to it that you might find out in Salt Lake. Just kind of we're trying to keep that kind of maintain progress. But yeah, come on by.
Yeah, please do, please do. I always do. The coffee is some of the best coffee I've ever had.
Mm.
So when I head out towards Skinwalker Ranch, I usually will stop and get a coffee.
Then they have their soda shop that we just started up a couple of years back. It was a different approach. We know that some generally soda shops were in those shacks, but we incorporated it in our brick and mortar location, and we just trying to build on that. And we know everybody loves either the coffee or your soda craving. So we got it both in one location. Like I'm saying, it's just right here on Highway 40. We have a lot of events that go happen throughout the year, and I think we're located conveniently. During the powwow, we're just right across the road. You can sit in there, you can enjoy the whole weekend there and listen. Or during the special events like say the Thanksgiving powwow, again, we're right here. If you're coming from Roosevelt, you're coming from Vernal, just stop on by.
Yeah, that's I've been going to the powwows for 30 years since I moved out here, and I've always felt welcomed and a part of the community. And thank you for that. There could be some really good reasons not to have us be welcome, but yet you are, and you've always made me bring me in and involved me in the powwows at times. I was at the Thanksgiving powwow one year and won the turkey call contest.
Oh yeah,
it was good. It's one of my cool things I've done. But yeah, I can do a heck of a turkey call, so that was fun. No, I really want to mention to everybody that this is not a closed border sovereign nation. This is a sovereign nation that wants to include a community that surrounds them and the people that help build communities and bring us all together. And I felt nothing but welcome from everybody here. And that's why I'm happy to come in and let's talk about bison for a good little bit. So thank you.
Yep. Thank
you. And to anybody that's wondered, that you're welcome. You're welcome here.
Yes, you hear the concept and the need for buy locally is real. It's real. Just the amount of the prices across the board anywhere in the country is real. And as local producers, we feel that too. And so we welcome that, opportunity to provide for our community if they're interested in looking at our products. It's real. It's something that we always try to make the point to our community and to others. Buy locally. That's a good approach.
I like that, and I support this, and I'll do everything I can to help with that because I believe in this community that we all live in. And I love this land, and I love this basin, and I love our history here. As strange as it is, and as wild as it is, and sometimes as hard as it is, I love it all, and I want to recognize it all, and that we are all one community.
Right.
Thank you. We're gonna go over, you guys and me. We're gonna go over to the market and buy some meat. So hang on. Thank you, AJ.
Thank you.
Well, here I am right outside of the Ute Plaza. We were just talking about how maybe they need a big sign up front that says everybody's welcome, but they are. You'll see. Come on in. They got the Ute Bison right up on top of the end cap, right when you first walk in. They're really easy to find.
Hi, how are you guys?
Good. How are you? You're just dancing over there? What's going on?
You know it. Gotta keep it alive.
I'll join in. Why not? Oh, look at that. Short ribs. Look at that. It's going to be dinner tonight.
Happy.
26.75.
You didn't buy any meat.
I didn't.
You're like, I got a freezer full.
Yeah, buy it. I mean, I go out and get it.
Okay, 688, please.
That's the best way to get it.
Fresh. Here you go.
Yeah, thank you.
Alrighty, have a good day. How are you, sir?
Excellent. How's business today?
It's going really good today. Couldn't be better.
Good.
Is that it for you?
That's it.
It's gonna be 12.15, please. Out of 100.
How clean this place is.
Okay, here's 85. There's 20, 40, 60, 85, 6, 7.
Thank you.
And you have a good day.
You as well.
Thank you. And do come back.
Let's go look into Trading Post. Ah, yeah. You know I love art. Do you know who the bladesmith is? Oh, that's good. Postcards.
Raise your hat, Arnie.
Oh, wow. That's a style. That is a style.
So much art.
Beautiful stuff. AJ had one of these on his desk. Look at that. Why do you taste so good? All right. Good enough. Take a photo of that. Everybody's welcome to the bear dance. There's the whole schedule.
Just goes up on top.
I like the little bisons.
Look at that.
Ute Plaza.